Hello, and welcome to our Veterans Day program for 2021. Many of you may not know, but my dad, my father-in-law, a couple of my uncles, and even one of my very best friends growing up since I was 12 years old have all served proudly in our United States military. So like many of you, I have a very personal connection to what I think about Veterans Day. Whether it's wartime or peacetime, we think that it's always important to teach our students that Veterans Day means so much more than to have a program or an assembly, whether it's like this, on video, or an in-person assembly. It means that we have a day to come together and pay our respects to honor all of the men and women who have proudly served our country. I also think it's a day to look forward. Think of the future. Think of your future and how many of you will one day serve our country. But we're also here to learn a little bit. We'll learn that patriotism is a value that must be taught and modeled for our young students. By truly taking the time to give this sentiment even deeper meaning in our schools and our classrooms, our teachers are really building the foundation for our young students to be proud and contributing citizens of the United States of America. Veterans Day is an official holiday which honors all people who have served in the armed services who are also known as veterans. It's a federal holiday that is observed on November 11th. It coincides with other holidays such as Armistice Day and Remembrance Day, which are celebrated in other parts of the world, and they all mark the anniversary of the end of World War I. Major hostilities of World War I were formally ended at the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, when the armistice with Germany went into effect. On behalf of Mrs. Lawson, Dr. Davis, all of the awesome teachers here at Pine Street Elementary School, our tremendous PTO volunteers who have taken the lead to make this event possible and very meaningful, and especially Mrs. Jeter, who's worked so hard on this video. I want to thank all of you for watching our Veterans Day program for 2021. Have a great day, and remember to honor all those who have served our country.
What do you say? Dear service member, thank you so much for all you do in the military. I appreciate you so much for all you do. Lots of exciting events have happened lately. The Braves won the national championship. Some things that have happened in my life is I won vice president for my school, I got a callback for a play, and a piece of my art was showcased at a fair. I am in 5th grade and I have learned a lot about how much freedom is important for the United States. It is because of you that we have this freedom. You keep America having world power. Thank you again for all you do. Best wishes, Rowan.
Dear service member, thank you for serving us. We are eternally grateful for that. My father used to serve in the Army, but now he's in the National Guard. I come from Kentucky, but I'm currently living in South Carolina. I'm 11 and I have 3 dogs. We do lots of fun things in 5th grade. First, we went to Barrier Island and did all kinds of fun things there, like the mud pit, sailing, a boat ride, and more things. Barrier Island is an inward-like beach that's pretty much an estuary. It was a 3-day science camp with cabins filled with split groups, and 1 week we will be doing a hovercraft project. From what I've seen other people do, it's like this flat, round mat with a powerful fan blowing it across the cafeteria. Maybe you did things like this in school. Wishing you the best, Lucas.
Dear soldier, I want to say thank you for sacrificing your life for our country. Back in America, the leaves have changed to pretty red, orange, and yellow colors. The weather is a little brittle. The temperature is cold in the morning and warm in the evening. The kids' basketball season is about to start, and I am playing for First Presbyterian. I'm in 5th grade. We recently went to a science camp called Barrier Island. There was a mud pit, an estuary, a salt marsh, and a boat ride. We had a lot of fun there. I can't thank you enough for doing what you are doing for our country. Sincerely, Gavin.
Dear veteran, thank you for making our world wonderful. My name is Elle and I'm 10. I play golf, basketball, and gymnastics. It is so brave of you to go out into the military and fight. I am sending you this letter because it is the month to honor and give thanks to you. I have a granddad who is in the Marines. I heard many cool stories, but also some sad ones. I have a great-great-grandfather who was in World War I, and he had many fights and went into an ice camp. But he is still alive today. I try to visit him a lot, and every time I do, he tells me new stories, and I thank him for helping us be a free country. I'm also thanking you for making us a free country. We would be living so differently if it wasn't for you who stepped out into the world and believed in freedom. You also made a great influence to others. Thank you for being worthy with freedom. Love, Elle.
Good morning, everyone, all of my Pine Street family and students. I just have the most honorable pleasure this morning of welcoming our wonderful, wonderful guest, who is Mr. Lamont Anderson, retired Air Force serviceman, and he is my husband of 29 years. And so he is going to just speak from his heart this morning and just offer up some great words of encouragement during this Veterans Day. And so welcome to my school.
Thank you. Good morning, Pine Street faculty, staff, and students. Happy Veterans Day. My name is Lamont Anderson. I'm a retired United States Air Force veteran, and it is an honor to be invited by you all in honor of Veterans Day. Veterans Day is always a meaningful time of year for me due to the many members of my family who served. My family members' military service began as far back as my great-grandfather, who served in the United States Navy. And then there was my dad and his 2 brothers, and then who are my uncles, and then my 2 brothers, and then of course there's me. We all served in the United States Air Force. Now, I spent the majority of my time of my military years overseas in Japan. My family and I lived in northern Japan, Misawa, Japan, for 4 years, and for 17 years we lived in Tokyo, Japan. While in Japan, my wife and I, Mary Shawn, I believe you call her Miss Mary Shawn, raised 3 children who are now ages 26, 24, and 20. All of our children attended schools in Japan on base and were surrounded with Japanese nationals as well as American students. Now on today, what I like to do is, as a veteran, I get asked many questions. What it's like being in the military, what is it like having a family overseas. And so what I've done is I've taken a lot of questions that many people have asked over the years, and I'm going to answer some of them for you, so you kind of have an idea what it's like to be active duty military as well as a retired veteran. I'm always asked the question of what made me want to join the military and to serve my country. As a child, since the 5th grade, I knew that I wanted to be in the military. And I believe it stemmed from my grandfather serving in the Navy, and also my dad serving in the Air Force, and my 2 uncles also serving in the Air Force. It was once when I saw my uncle home, he was dressed in his military blues while he was on leave visiting from California. And when I saw him in his uniform, I really knew that I wanted to be in the United States Air Force. So as a 5th grader from that time, I can't remember my age exactly, but what I did was I prepared myself through elementary school, middle school, and high school to join the United States Air Force. And just a little bit background story on it, I wanted to join the Air Force so bad that I went to the recruiter while I was in the 9th grade to try to find out information to see if I could join. And then as soon as I graduate, I could go ahead and head off to basic training. Well, he told me I was a little bit too young. So I went back to 10th grade and asked the same question, and he told me I was still too young. And then I finally, 11th grade, he told me about a program, a delayed enlistment program, and I joined the military actually in the 11th grade. And at the end of my senior year, 2 weeks after high school, I was off to basic training. So to answer that question, that is why I joined the military, why I joined the Air Force, what made me want to join the Air Force, and how I joined it. All right. Now, another question that I always get is, what job did I do in the military? I was in a squadron called the Civil Engineer Squadron. And in the Civil Engineer Squadron, there are many jobs. But I was fortunate enough to have 2 jobs while I was in the Air Force. My first job was exactly what was called working in utilities. And in utilities, you have electrical, you have plumbing, you have heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And my job in there was to actually work along with the plumbing side. I actually worked with plumbing from new installations to maintaining fixtures. I did all sorts of things. I also worked on the wastewater side and the water treatment side of the house as well. Okay? And my second job that I did while I was in the Air Force, it's more of an internal job. It was with operations management, still working with engineers. However, I managed more of the contracting side of the house, the budgeting side of the house, and I worked with millions and millions of dollars, as well as the maintenance engineering side of the house. So as you can guess, and as you can see, there are many jobs in which someone who joins the military or veterans do throughout their careers. Now, when I was deployed, whenever I went overseas to the desert, I actually had another job, and I had to work in what's called the Command and Control Center. That Command and Control Center is where all of the decisions are made concerning anything dealing with a wartime situation. Okay? All right, now I would like to go ahead to my next question. The question that was asked to me. What was it like living overseas? Living overseas is outstanding. It is something that my family enjoyed. It's something that I enjoyed. As you know, my wife and I, we left here in the 90s and we didn't come back for another 27 years. So living overseas in Japan, we loved it greatly. Okay, this next question is a pretty good question. What did serving my country actually mean to me? In 2 words, and it's very lengthy, but I want to leave it simple for you. Service and sacrifice. Okay, service and sacrifice. That's what serving my country means to me. Now, in closing, I would like to share with you ways in which you can honor all veterans. You know, with the service and sacrifice, we wouldn't be able to do anything without your support. So with your support, we're able to go out and we're able to accomplish great things. So one thing you can do to honor a veteran is simply just thank them for their service. Okay, just simply thank them for their service. And as you're thanking them for their service, we in turn should always turn around and say thank you for your support because you support us. And then the next part is very simple. If you see a veteran, do something that's very, very easy. Take your right hand, face it this way, left hand by your side, and render a salute. That's it. If you salute a veteran, they'll always salute you back. Thank you for your time. Thank you for inviting me to today's Veterans Day program. Have a great day.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm here today to talk to you about honoring our veterans. We have our Veterans Day program, and this wonderful book we're going to read, H is for Honor. We want to make sure that we honor all of our veterans and the families that support them. H is for Honor, a military family alphabet by Devin Skillian, illustrated by Victor Joseph. Give me an A for Army and an A for Air Force too. An A for all the armed services behind the red, white, and blue. They stand at attention, tall and proud, all impeccably dressed. An A for the American Armed Forces. An A for the world's very best. No offense, but the letter B means they're a brat. Your brother and your sister too, and there's nothing wrong with that. Military kids are known as brats, but far from wild or bad. They serve their country in their own way, just like their mom and dad. Any Marine will tell you the letter C stands for Corps. It takes courage and character. It takes commitment and more. From Camp Lejeune to Pendleton, the Marine Corps stands by, ready to go wherever they're called, true to Semper Fi. Don't you dare dally and don't be late. Stand at attention, ramrod straight. D is the drill sergeant, making things rough. You'll thank him someday for being so tough. The Navy SEALs, the Green Berets, the Army Rangers, of course, Special Tactics, MEUs, and the Daring Delta Force. E is for the elite force. They're trained with extra care. They know too well when duty calls, danger may be there. Behind each sailor, behind each soldier, somebody somewhere cares. Behind each airman, coastie, and marine, someone is saying their prayers. Wherever Americans fight for freedom, they very quickly learn. F for the families, first and foremost, who wait for their return. G is just a game. It's just a game, you say. Those in the Army and Navy don't quit to see it that way. The Army-Navy football game is a November celebration of the honor and spirit of those who chose to serve their mighty nation. Not everyone hears it. It's just a few, but there's no denying it once you do. When your country calls, you do your part. So H is for honor in the American heart. You're visiting HQ to see the CO. You're surrounded by several officials. You're also surrounded by so many letters. That's why I is for initials. R and R, T, D, Y. A night at the BRQ. And when you're hungry, it's good to know an MRE will do. The letter J is just a thing to get from here to there. Here's one racing down the road, and there's another up in the air. Jeeps and jets take different routes, but both of them help prove the military can't keep still. It's always on the move. Pucker up for letter K for a kiss of fabulous flair, captured in a famous photo on a corner in Times Square. A happy sailor and a happy gal had learned the war was done. Their sweeping kiss captured the joy when World War II was won. Miles from home, too hot or too cold, lonely for months on end. L arrives in a large green sack. It's the letters that you send. The leaves are turning, the farm is fine, the puppy keeps chasing his tail. There's nothing better than getting a letter from home in the bag of mail. The letter M means military police, better known as MPs. When you live on a post or a military base, you'll need a few of these. They guard the base and keep the place as secure as it can be. When they arrive at the entrance gate, MPs are the first you see. Up in the air in a fighter jet, or down deep in a submarine, above the ocean, beneath the sea, and everywhere in between. We're riding the tide, deep blue and green, constantly churning and wavy. On ships very small and impossibly large, our N stands for Navy. Our military families tend to move across nations, states, and borders. The letter O means pack your bags, for you just got your orders. 2 years here, 3 years there, your family's on the go. Your orders mean a brand new part of the world for you to know. Our letter P will make you proud and cause a little commotion. Here's a hug and a handshake too, for P is for promotion. To move along one rank to the next takes drive and dedication, so each and every promotion is a call for a celebration. If someone asks about your quarters, I know it may sound funny, but they'd like to know about your home, not about your money. Q is for quarters, which means your house, perhaps on government land. Uncle Sam provides you with quarters, but they won't fit in your hand. Rise and shine for the letter R, early every day. R is the sound of reveal, heard from miles away. We raise the flag as the bugler plays with the rising of the sun. He'll play retreat to lower the flag later when day is done. Sometimes the job is far away. Sometimes it's for so long. Sometimes a war is being fought and we've asked to be strong. S stands for sacrifice and the special American way of doing what's right for freedom's light to shine on the USA. Whether on a Coast Guard ship or in an Air Force jet or an Army tank or a Navy sub, you can certainly bet that you'll see people work together, busy as they can be. I think you'll find that teamwork suits us to a T. From army green to desert brown, from white to navy blue, our U stands for uniform, graceful, proud, and true. From a Marine's dress blues to a soldier's fatigues, on this we can agree. The uniform of the USA is a symbol of being free. V reminds us of all of those who marched these paths before. Veterans are bound by the gift of service through times of peace and war. Old and young faces saluting the flag that waves in the sky above. All were willing to give their lives for the country that they love. For many years, if you saw a soldier, you were looking at a he. But times have changed, and now that soldier might just be a she. So W is for women, defending our nation and lives. They're all-American mothers, sisters, daughters, and wives. The letter X stands for exchange, which is where you'll want to shop. When you live on base or live on post, you'll need a place to shop. An exchange is a kind of department store with goods from near and far. It's a PX to some, a BX to others, depending on where you are. Y is for the reason they do the things they do. They put their lives on the line and they do it all for you. For you to live a life that's free in a nation proud and strong. Be glad there are those who go to work taking your dreams along. Z can stand for Zulu, but as odd as it may sound, Zulu stands for Z. It's the other way around. Zulu for Z, Alpha for A, and Oscar for the letter O. The military uses some special words to talk on the radio. And that, my friends, represents H is for honor, the alphabet of the military. Thank you for listening.